What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I will be discussing the second cure for a lean purse in this mini-series on building wealth. The lessons are all taken from a book called The Richest Man in Babylon, and in this series I will break down the lessons and how you can apply them in your life with the overarching goal of achieving financial freedom. So, getting right to it, the second lesson, as taught by Arcad to the merchants in the book, is this: control thy expenditures. Now, as with the first cure, be sure that you don't mock or ridicule this due to its simplicity. After Arcad reveals this truth, he asks the same question which he asked the merchants the previous day, and that was, who amongst them had a lean purse? Or in modern terms, who was broke? At this, they answer that they are all in fact broke, down to the last person, to which Arcad remarks that they do not all earn the same amount of money. Some earn much more than others, some have much larger families to support. How is it then that they are all broke? After asking this, Arcad then answers his own question, stating, "Now I will tell thee an unusual truth about men and sons of men. It is this, that what each of us calls our necessary expenses will always grow to equal our incomes unless we protest to the contrary." Arcad is absolutely right, and is describing what in today's day and age we would call lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep. Basically, as our income increases, we tend to spend more and more money, always using up the entirety of the money that we earn. Arcad then warns the merchants not to confuse their necessary expenses with their desires, stating that their desires will continue to grow, constantly expanding to fill more income than they could ever earn. He teaches that though people have many desires, we can only gratify a few, and the majority of those desires will go ungratified, no matter how wealthy we become. Arcad then advises the merchants to study thoughtfully thy accustomed habits of living. Herein may be most often found certain accepted expenses that may wisely be reduced or eliminated. In simple terms, Arcad is suggesting that the merchants begin to track their spending, so that they can see and become aware of things that they have perhaps become accustomed to spending money on, which could in fact be eliminated. In our day and age, this might be a cup of coffee on the way to work, or eating out at a fancy restaurant every weekend. The point is to reevaluate the things we consider to be the norm when it comes to spending money, that we may reduce or eliminate them from our spending if necessary. Oftentimes, these meaningless small purchases build up to a large sum of money over time. To end off the lesson, Arcad tells the merchants to list their expenses and to prioritize their desires, stating that they can take 90% of their income to cover these things. He further states that whichever desires cannot fit into 90% of their income should be left ungratified, left out entirely, and not regretted. These have just simply joined the multitude of other desires which will forever be unrealized. The brilliance of this advice lies in its simplicity, because Arcad is just telling the merchants to make a budget and stick to it, never touching the 10% which they have set aside as taught in the first lesson. Now, just before the conclusion of this lesson, one of the students stands up to challenge Arcad, stating that he is a free man and he believes that it is his right to enjoy the things of life, that he does not want to be bound by the budget and what it determines that he may spend his money on and how much he may spend. Arcad responds by explaining to the man that he is in charge of his own budget and determining what goes into it. The purpose of a budget is to assist the person who makes it. It's there to help them cover their expenses and pay for the desires which they themselves determined will be in that budget. To quote Arcad, it serves to enable us to realize our most cherished desires by defending them from our casual wishes. This complements something I said in another video, which is that after you have budgeted, saved, and invested, if you are going to spend money, spend it on something that you really value. Don't throw money away on some casual desire which doesn't actually make you significantly happier. To end this off, a budget is there to show you where your money is going, to show you how it may be escaping you without your realizing, on purchases which you don't actually need. It's there so you can control your expenditures in order to put that money to more meaningful, longer lasting, and more gratifying purposes. So that is the second cure for being broke, or the second cure for a lean purse, as taught by Arcad in The Richest Man in Babylon. If you enjoyed this video, then please do go ahead and give it a like. Videos like this take a lot of time and effort, and so I would really appreciate it. Also, if you would like to see more content about making money, saving, investing, and building wealth, well then do be sure to go ahead and subscribe. I upload videos every Monday and Friday, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.